Hello, we're Moss Charmley. And the honeymoon period is over. This is our 2-year review of the Huion Kamvas Pro 24 4K. We would like to share some tips and tricks that have made this pen display an indispensable part of our art life.
Yes, we hope this helps you out. If you're going to get one or thinking about purchasing the Kamvas Pro 24 4K, it is a very big purchase. It takes a lot of research and honestly bravery because it's scary to buy something like this tablet.
For sure.
Yeah, there's nowhere you can, try it out and experience it for yourself or even
touch it.
Yeah, touch it, see
what
it's
is this
like.
thing like,
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's where YouTube steps in.
Yes.
It takes the place of all of that. So we watched ourselves a lot of YouTubes about the tablet, trying to see everybody and what they thought of it. And then we basically said,
let's do it.
Yeah.
We thought, let's try it.
You got to. It's going to be good. You know, what can we do? It's going to be good. So, yeah.
Yeah, we were actually saving up for a Wacom Cintiq, one of the big pro models. Mm-hmm. And they're much more money than the Huion 24 4Ks. And just like everyone else we know, they're great and considered the best. We were going to go for it, but became very weary because we heard how much repairs were for the Wacoms alone, and it made us think about alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
That cost a lot.
Yeah, it did. It was quite a significant amount of money just to replace a screen. So,
yeah.
We have made 6-month reviews and a 1-year review about the Huion Kamvas 24 4K. We have had a lot of time with them, using them daily.
Yeah.
These are our main monitors on our computer. We both use Apple M1 computers. One is an M1 Mac Mini with 16 gigabytes of RAM. The other is an M1 MacBook Air with 16 gigs of RAM. They may not be the newest Macs, but they really do exactly what we need to do.
Yes, they're fantastic for us.
They still do everything we need to do. A little tip: if you're going to buy an Apple product, buy the Apple refurbished models. We had a little issue with one of ours, and we brought it in, and they were like, "Okay, we'll fix it," and it was totally easy breezy. So
that worked out,
and it was much cheaper than buying it, straight away. So buy the refurbished models.
Yeah, you'll save a bit. So we do use desktop PCs we built together, and they're all AMD builds and run Linux. Pop! OS is the operating system. The Huion Kamvas 24 4Ks were great right out of the box with Linux. So but we'll talk about that later. So
now it's connectivity we should talk about. If your computer has USB-C, that would be the connection to go with. But if you have to make sure that the USB is 3.1 Gen 2. If not, connecting using a DisplayPort 1.4 cable for video and use the included USB-C to USB-C cable that they gave you. Also get an adapter for a USB-C 3.1, long cable, so like you can have an extension cable.
If it's too short, getting an extension USB cable will work,
It works really good, so that would be definitely something to do.
And make sure it's USB 3.0 minimum.
So, you need that for sure.
So installing drivers is very important. That's what you'll do when you get your tablet. So Huion provides many different versions of drivers for your specific OS. Yeah. We actually use a very old driver that they don't offer anymore, but I'm sure if you contact Huion, they'll provide it for you. Mm-hmm. We use driver version 15.6.3.88. We saved all the drivers because M1 was so new at the time. If something went wrong, we could always go back to something we knew worked. So with us, we have installed the different driver updates, but they all didn't work for us as good as the 15.6.3.88. We have a little, a really great tip is to store your drivers on a folder, make a folder on your computer and store those drivers there.
Put the DMGs right there.
Yeah.
It's really just keep them for all the different ones, because sometimes they just discontinue the driver like they have here.
It's a just in case.
Just in case. So don't think that M2s or M3s won't work with this.
Oh yeah, they work great.
They work fine, so it's not an issue at all. We don't have them, we don't use them, but we know they work well. So just to let you know.
Let's talk display.
Yeah. The display was really off when we got them, and it took a lot of tinkering to get it just right. We both had different settings of our screen brightness, color, and contrast to really make them work for us. So in the drivers, you can adjust the display settings, but it didn't seem to work for us for some reason. We had the right cable, everything was right, but it just wasn't working. So there is a baked-in, settings panel, but with a long press of the power button is how it becomes accessible. So, yeah.
So yeah, for pressing that long button.
Yeah, the long button.
We're gonna
press on the power button.
Thank you. We wanted to share the settings of our tablets. Mm-hmm. So all just to let you know, monitors work differently, and it's kind of funny because ours, just goes to show that two different monitors having two different settings. Yeah. So just to mention that before I start giving you the specs. So one of them is 50 brightness and 50 contrast, user color profile 41 on red, 38 on green, 38 on blue. HDR is turned off. The other is 65 brightness and 50 for contrast. Color profile is set to 50 red, 48 for green, and 49 for blue.
And there's no HDR.
Yeah, thank you.
The brightness says that it can actually, on the screen specs, that it says it can go up to full HDR, but it really doesn't, and it doesn't look very good at all. So just keep the HDR off, especially when you're color correcting. So these are our presets that we just use now, and we really like them. They work for us,
Yeah, maybe it will work for you too. Just
wanted to, give them to you. Hope they work.
Throw that out there.
Yeah. The next thing had to do with chromatic aberration on tablets.
Yes.
For drawing, it's a real problem. So it's a byproduct of etched glass or anti-glare screens. It's when the pixels are diffused and the spectrum is separated. It's really, really distracting, as all, heck, so, it really sucks. But there is hope. Our recommendation for the Huion 24 4K is twofold. The first is time. In time, it will act like an optical illusion for your mind and your eye. It's like seeing that illusion of an old lady or a young woman. You can see one or the other.
Yeah,
at
or
the time.
like a duck or a guy.
Yeah, right.
A duck or somebody in a hat.
Yeah, right. It's one of those. So it will eventually just sort of disappear. You won't be able to see it, So there is hope not to be having to deal with that spectrum madness, So it sucks, but it takes a little time, Basically, it's almost like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
A week or two of patience. I mean, your eyes just adjust. I want to say with that, like your eyes just adjust to it. Mm-hmm. We came from using an iPad. And it doesn't really have that chromatic aberration unless you put like a paper light or screen protector over it. Yeah. So your eyes just sort of get used to it, and you just don't see any of that anymore.
No.
I don't really notice that at all.
And that's on Wacom's as well. Yeah, this is one of those aspects that people take for granted when they're using them. Because if you're a newcomer and you have to deal with this, you're like, something's wrong. Yeah, how am I gonna do this?
Yeah, it's startling at first if you're not used to it.
It really is.
And nothing's wrong with it.
Very off-putting.
Yeah.
One time we got a screen protector for the iPad, and I was upset. Because I was like, how the heck are you supposed to use this thing?
Yeah.
What the heck's going on with this?
You need to replace a different. So you used to use screen protector.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So, anyways, it was just whatever.
Yeah. So honestly, it will get better. It just takes a little getting used to. So
there's another part to it too.
Yeah.
So that helps out.
Yes. Solution is brightness. Bringing your brightness down below 80% will make it a lot easier to deal with. Like you may think it will be too dim, but in our experience, using a monitor for many hours a day at full brightness or even 90% brightness really strains our eyes. I would not recommend putting your tablet up really bright.
Right. You can't work on that.
You can't
for
work
6
on
hours
that.
In 8 hours. It's not healthy.
No.
So just another tip from us.
Yes.
Take care of your eyes.
Yeah.
There are these really cool like cold compresses that you can put in the freezer, and you just put those over your eyes when you're like done working for the day. Just take a moment,
Yeah.
just for yourself, and we found that really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Just with eye strain and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, even a washcloth, like
Cold
wet a washcloth and like wring it out, stick it in the freezer, and then
Daily routine right there.
Yeah.
Everybody.
rinse it out again. When it's an ice cube washcloth, and it'll
It's a
feel
little stiff, but it
yeah,
works.
it'll feel really great over your eyes, and just don't do it for too long. That's why they don't last. That's why the ones that you get that you put in the freezer.
Yeah, like the iPad ones,
The
eye spa.
The
type.
really the spa ones don't last long because you shouldn't have that much cold on your eye for too long.
Yeah, but it helps.
Yeah, it helps. Try it. Okay.
I wanted to bring up one thing that we had with some people asked.
Yes.
There was some comments about, we recommended in one of our videos to use very fine sandpaper, like 200-300, as fine as you could get grit sandpaper. The sandpaper is for the stylus and the tip you're using. If you have a tip that is the plastic ones and you're not using the felt, use the sandpaper on the tip of the stylus that you
plastic.
put in.
It's only for the plastic nib of the stylus.
Yes, exactly.
It's only for that. Like we wanted to sort of have that, like over starting out. It's as if it's used it
a bit.
Exactly. So we just rubbed
because it felt a little better on that etched glass.
Yeah.
But now we just use
felt nibs.
Felt nibs.
Now we're a felt nib
really,
user, and they're great.
Totally transitioned to that. But they're nice. They're soft. So yeah, definitely just want to let you know. Do not put sandpaper on the screen of any kind.
No, or anywhere else.
Some people were concerned. That's what.
Yeah.
No,
we don't want anybody
don't
to
touch
have.
the screen.
Yeah. Don't
clean it with. It's glass, so you can clean the screen. With,
only soft things for the screen.
Soft materials. Yes, exactly. So, just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Wobbly arm. Monitor arms. Okay, yes. So if you have your screen up on an arm, like we both have it up on an arm.
I have an Ergotron.
Yeah.
And you use the Amazon Prime Basic one. They're
both
basically
great.
The same thing. They're really good. They're both really good.
So being honest, yes, there is a wobble when you use arm monitor. They sell an adjustable arm monitor stand that fits the VESA mount on the back as an alternative. So there's that cool one where you could stick it on your table. But standing up while working and being able to move around the screen is very much the trade-off for us.
Yeah.
So
you can take that screen, put it out of the way.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit more desk space. That's kind of really the whole point in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. We sometimes put books on the table under the screen to help stabilize it while drawing.
Yeah.
Or just hold it sometimes. Like sometimes you hold it with one hand and be drawing with the other.
Exactly.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
One tip: adjust your monitor arm. If you have an arm, you should regularly be tightening up areas. Just to keep it tuned up for your specific monitor, because sometimes they'll actually be affected by barometric pressure, humidity, temperature. There's so many different things. So
artistic vigor.
Artistic vigor. That is number one. So just make sure that you kind of just reset up your monitor arm if you need to. So
it comes with a little key.
Yeah,
like
an Allen wrenchy thing.
Yeah, that you could just sort of wrench it up and on a rare occasion. I've had to tighten it up. Not really that
They've
often.
lasted a long time.
Yeah.
I've only had to adjust mine once in the past 2 years.
Same here.
Maybe
twice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm on the.
But we moved it once.
Yes, we'll get to that. We're gonna get to that.
We had to move a little bit. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Pen pressure.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. This is a good thing. It's pen pressure sensitivity time. The driver does a great job at giving you customization of pressure curves, but in Clip Studio Paint and in Krita and many other programs, you can customize the pressure specifically for the program, which means that you can customize a specific brush that you specifically use with your unique pressure curve, which is absolutely the best way to go. So the drivers, yeah, you can get a nice neutral or get a really good sensitivity of pressure, for the stylus, but it is super cool to be able to use a program to even further customize that pressure sensitivity.
I agree. Like you doing that within the program itself and not just the tablet. So you have double the control over what you're doing with
like
your pen.
superpowers.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. You're like, wow, and it feels so good.
Yeah.
When you really dial that in.
We discovered it
time.
when we got the tablet to take the time to really figure it out. So we started the pressure sensitivity with the tablet itself, and then we discovered, oh my gosh, you could change it in Krita and in Clip Studio, and it was really like, whoa, it was very exciting.
It was really nice.
Yeah, it was like an great extra. It made it so much smoother to work with.
It was totally a better experience. So okay.
Okay, now it's time for the personal.
It's the chic moment.
Fart.
Oh fart.
It's
the fart.
Oh fart moments.
Oh fart marmots. A marmot. It's the fart marmot.
Yeah. I hope you stuck around for this, because
Yes.
this is where if you
These
like
are the gems.
if you like a little drama, this is your chance.
Oh yeah.
So the first story we're going to tell is that a monitor arm that was broken when we bought it. Like we first bought
day 2.
It was when we bought it, we got his tablet.
Yeah.
It was the first one we got,
Yeah.
and then we bought an Ergotron arm. We had the desk set up and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
And then we set it up with the Ergotron arm, and
It wasn't the Ergotron. It was some budget one. I was like, hey, it's gonna work. Everybody on Amazon was like, this is gonna be fine. And something was wrong with it, and don't know what it was, but it was so stiff, and I've never used an arm on a tablet like this. So
it wasn't working.
It wasn't
It
working.
was stiff. It couldn't do the movements it needed to do for an arm on a table.
Yeah.
And he sort of Vegeta'd it a little. Like I don't know how to express this.
I was trying to move it, and I was like, this has to work, right? And then it was like the creakiness of the screen.
He's moving it,
and I'm moving
side
it, and I'm
by
like,
side.
do you think this is all right, honey? And it's no, stop.
Stop doing
And
that.
it like kind of totally, in all honesty, there's a part of my screen that actually the LEDs, I totally kind of crushed a little bit of the side, because it was like I was really forcibly trying to move this. And I thought, I think that's how you're supposed to do it. No, you're not.
No, it's not.
If the arm doesn't work and it isn't moving smoothly, take it down. Don't do anything, because it was kind of like a little bit of a huge flub.
Don't do what we did.
Yeah, it's a small area of my screen that's sort of, I don't even notice it at all, when I'm working, because it's just this tiny little area. It's not even, pixels aren't dead, it's nothing. It just has to do with how the LEDs are sort of a little bit brighter in one small area. But yeah,
thank goodness.
That was the first
that's a thank goodness, but it was like the first trouble we had with just sort of installing these tablets, and that horrified
it was like
us.
Christmas morning, you're a little kid and you're like, I just broke my toy. But you're an adult, and it's a lot of money.
And it's not,
but it's the same thing.
And you know how much money it is, and you're like,
and you're
just, it's honestly this dead horror
right?
in your chest.
You're like,
no.
I am shame. It was like so intense. So anyway. Also,
okay, this is one I did. This is one of my gems. Yeah. So I scratched the screen.
Yeah.
And
it was like 6 months in, wasn't it? 6 or 8 months in?
Yeah, it was way late into it. It was way later into it. And I wanted to move the tablet off the table in another room onto another table, because it was cooler, and it was summer at the time, and I'm like, why not?
It was a hot California day.
Yeah, and
we were like, let's move into the other room because it's cooler in there. So,
yeah,
anyways.
it was like I was doing a project. I was so worried about it. I was exhausted.
Yeah, it was a long day.
It was a long month that time. Mm-hmm. So I did it. I put a towel down, and it was like during a time where I think I left the mechanical pencil and scratched it on the towel or
It's just
something.
moving it,
It's just
like
by
you're
just
moving
moving it around. It was kind of one of those, black and white. Somebody's, moving furniture.
Totally, right?
And it horrified me. I'm not gonna lie. That was something that I thought was gonna be just a horrible thing. I thought it was gonna be this giant scratch that dug into the screen so deep that I would be putting a cloth on it and it would catch, or my pen, it would be so deep that my pen would catch on it and I couldn't draw, and I would obsess over this scratch. And like the first week it happened, I was devastated and I was so mad at myself and so hurt that happened. But then I sort of just, honestly, after like a week or two, I'm still just drawing on it because I love my tablet so much that I don't
it's
even.
the only monitor hooked up to your computer.
Yeah,
both of us.
I don't even notice the scratch anymore, and now I have to actually look for it. So it's something that is kind of funny when something like that first happens.
Yeah.
It's just a horror movie. You feel really bad. You feel really guilty, and it's okay. That really worked out. So even though that happened, it's not like, I still actually would recommend these tablets.
Yeah, they're really well made.
Yeah,
like,
they're really well
when
made.
When I say kind of like a grip that thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
that's
these
why,
things are really well made, I have to say.
That's why we
Metal
recommend the
bodies,
metal ones. Yeah.
The metal body, everything works really well. These things are really well made, I have to say. Totally durable. Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Like I love the tablet. I really love the size of it. You could just draw and see everything.
Yeah.
You can see the sides of it with all your icons and all of your tools and your layers, and it's really a great tablet to use.
It's a comfortable size in the end. It's big.
Yes.
But then once you get to use it, you're like, wow, this really is a very comfortable thing to use. The surface is great. The stylus is great.
Just don't, like, honestly, I wouldn't recommend taking it off the table like I did. You can do it. It's not a bad thing, but be more careful than me. That was really human error. That was not.
Yes.
That was not.
Exactly. That's right.
That was
both of our things.
Yeah, both of our things were actually all human error.
Yeah.
This wasn't like it was the tool
it's
or
not the
product's
tablet's
fault. Yeah. So we just wanted to let you all know how it's been, and we still love it, and Yeah.
And hopefully we get another 10 years out of these things.
Oh my gosh,
I'll
yes.
tell you, I wouldn't put it past it, to be honest. I mean, unless that screen just totally goes,
Yeah, unless this blacks out, I'm not going to stop using
would you buy another one, or would you get like a Huion or something, or a Wacom, would you buy another Huion?
I'd buy another Huion.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, for the price of a Wacom, I mean, you could just...
Yeah, now they've gone up quite a bit.
They've gone up... it's just, the price itself is so... I feel bad saying it. It's a beautiful, great tablet. Like, Wacoms are really great, but for the price and the money you save and the product you get is just as good. Yeah. I don't see any real difference in quality.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
It doesn't...
I mean, just using it, day in, day out, there's really no real difference.
My gosh, and with the money you save by just getting a good Huion tablet, you can buy good studio equipment, like if you're a new chair, if your chair stinks, or a new table if you want to change up, or just other new tools. You want new sketchbooks? You can afford it now.
Right? You get a lot of sketchbooks.
Yeah, a new SSD card, or
who doesn't need more storage?
No one cannot deal with more storage.
Okay.
Yeah, we are so glad you sat with us and listened. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you everyone very much. Our subscribers are great. Everybody we've talked to about this, we've had some really great exchanges with people asking really good questions.
Yeah.
And we really hope we helped everybody out. There were some people very concerned. I hope we didn't turn you, onto something you really regret buying, but, we really do like
We like it.
We really do.
We just want to share what we like.
This is not supported. No way.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
This is not sponsored. We just like talking about our tablets.
Yeah. We hope this helps some people out.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw them on a sale during the holiday. So it was like, hey, I bet there's a lot of people who bought this.
Yeah.
So we should, we're kind of veterans. We're kind of the...
check out holiday sales. And Cyber Monday.
All that kind of stuff.
And all those sales that happen.
I mean, you can get a good discount.
Good chance for a deal.
Yeah.
Moss Charlie out.
We hope this helps.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great day. Thank you.